Hey folks, I've got a few updates and announcements. I've got a cheat sheet here so I don't forget anything. So first off, my Khopesh has been repaired. Now some of you may not have seen this before, some of you may not be aware that it was damaged in the first place. So for those, I'll link the videos in the description down there. So that's the video of previous tests and the review. This one is made by Neil Burridge in the UK. It's made of bronze. And the way this was damaged was I cut into one of the zombie heads. It was the earlier Ivan head from Zombie Go Boom. And I cut into the neck. I think at that point it was made of PVC. And it was so pretty hard material. And what happened was that the blade twisted. So there was kind of an S curve in the edge. So that was kind of tricky for me to fix. Like I don't have a large vise or anything like that. So and a twist is always pretty difficult to deal with. If it's just bent laterally, no problem, you can bend it back. But if it rotates, that's more of a problem. Especially with this one here, because the spine is softer and the edge is forged. So the edge is harder. That makes it a little more difficult. I'm also, now that it's repaired, I'm planning to do a few tests with it. Well, I had trouble fixing it with the tools that I have available. A friend of mine, a local blacksmith, was kind enough to do it for me. And he runs Bifrost Forge, or Bifrost, if you want to go by the Icelandic pronunciation. I'll also link, I'll link a leave in the description video, below down. Holy crap. So yeah, I'll post the link down there to his Facebook page. He also has an Etsy store, and I would definitely suggest checking him out, especially if you are in the area, you know, Vancouver Island or Lower Mainland, etc. He does some really good stuff, especially recently, since he has access to a more well-equipped workshop. There's some pretty stuff like this right here. And I want to give a shout out to another friend of mine as well, who also runs a business in Canada, which is Hoplite Tactical Supplies. So that's for those of you who are interested in firearms, accessories, targets, etc. He actually gave me that AR-500 steel plate target that you may have seen in some of my videos. And so if you want to check that out, link will be down there as well. He's still stuck up in Prince George. He would very much like to also move down here to Victoria, or at least the general area, because, well, I mean, if you know Prince George, you know that it's somewhat infamous. It's not necessarily the most popular place. Let's leave it at that. Anyway, the other thing is I've been looking for land here locally. Now, I've mentioned the crazy housing market here and the insane prices and all of that, but I really need some place to do tests. I'm very limited as it is currently. I have a few spots that are kind of suitable that I don't get to very often, but ideally I would buy land or, you know, lease it or something, you know, something for rent, whatever. Just a place where I can set up things permanently, like cutting stands and various other things. Maybe ideally have a workshop there, that would be perfect. And so I'm wondering if anybody among my subscribers might have some land that I can use. Perhaps I pay you like a monthly amount to be able to use that, or if somebody knows of someone who is selling land affordably. And what I mean by affordably, not something for 300,000 or so or more. That's just not what we can do right now. But I need to find something. I mean, you may have noticed that recently there haven't been too many practical tests and such, because of those issues. I don't have my own backyard, I don't have a place to set up and all of that. So if anybody has something, or, you know, it doesn't have to be directly in the greater Victoria area, it can be further up the island or whatever, as long as it's not past Nanaimo or whatever. Anyway, moving on, I also want to sell this rapier. I've shown that in one video. I got this on a sword forum. It's made by Vladimir Serenka, and I showed you in the video about blade flexibility what the issue with it is. I don't want to do it again, but I've shown it before how flexible this is, and it also takes a bit of a set, and that makes it completely unusable for my purposes. I got this specifically to do tests with on camera, to show exactly what a rapier can and cannot do, but this is just because it is so floppy, it is just not suitable for that. I cannot use this. And I could take off the edges, round off the point, put a rubber blunt on and use it for HEMA practice, but I really don't need to. I already have a rapier made by Darkwood Armory, and this is it's just money lying around, and I have quite some costs currently for test materials and various other things. So yeah, I'm just putting this up on eBay for anybody who is just looking for something nice to hang on the wall if you don't want to use this. Either that, or as said, if you want to modify it or want me to modify it to make it safe for HEMA practice, that can be done. And yeah, otherwise, if you don't want to do tests with it, it's fine. It's a very nicely made rapier, aside from the issues with the blade. It's antiqued. Depends on whether or not you like that, but the hilt is perfectly shaped and well assembled and all of that. Anyway, I'll put that up on eBay. I can also, if the person who wins the auction wants, I can also add this dagger here. It came with it. I could also keep this one because that one does not have these problems. In fact, it has a pretty stiff blade. So this is properly usable. I can do things with that. But if somebody wants, I can add this for an extra, like, I don't know, $200 or $300. I have to figure that out, and we'll see where it goes. So I'll leave the link. There will be plenty of links here, as you can tell. The video description is going to be full. So yeah, I'll leave that as well. Link to the eBay auction. And well, the other thing, oh yeah, the crossbow funding. Shut up. I was just wiggling around. So the Indiegogo campaign for the 1,000-pound crossbow was successful. By the way, I found it funny how many people thought that, not just on this, but also on other videos about a crossbow, thought that 1,000 pounds, that's the actual weight of the crossbow. No, that would seriously be a ballista or something. It's the draw weight. So it doesn't weigh that much. I mean, the other crossbow that I have, it also doesn't weigh 350 pounds. It pulls 350 pounds. But either way, so yeah, that was surprisingly quickly successful. So that's happening. And it's scheduled for disbursement on May 8th. So then I can actually order the crossbow from Todd at Todd Stuff, and yeah, so we're all ready to go there. I'm trying to figure out when to schedule the exclusive video, the live stream video. That was one of the perks. So I've sent emails to everybody and suggested a few times and dates, so you can vote on that. Then I recently purchased a ballistic gel torso mold from Clear Ballistics because I just need a more substantial target for tests. I've been experimenting with what I call the stabby stand, which works reasonably well. I want something more than just ballistic gel because of its limitations. And so I'm planning to pour in ballistic gel together with PVC pipe and various other things that I might experiment with to simulate very, very roughly a rib cage. It's not going to be the most realistic thing in the world, but it'll be useful for some types of blades, etc., that don't work particularly well on tatami mats, for example. Axes, with some axes you can cut tatami mats cleanly, but some others don't work particularly well on that, but they would bury themselves quite easily in a target like that has more resistance, more mass behind it, and has some hard parts there as well. So this should be pretty interesting. Yeah, I'll have to see where to set it up. I'll most likely just do it at blunt iron, which is not ideal, but it's, you know, it's feasible at least until I find a better area. Oh yeah, if you have any other ideas for test materials, let me know. You know, any other particular setups and all of that. Please don't suggest dead animals. I just don't do that. I just don't want to throw any money at the meat industry for ethical reasons. And also, it's really messy. I don't want to have to deal with rotting flesh and things like that. So ideally, it would be synthetic materials. I mean, bones would be okay. I guess if a hunter can supply some, I'd be mostly okay with that. But it depends on how they're cleaned, because depending on the cleaning process, it may change the properties of the bone, which could skew the test results. But that would be an option. But if you have any other ideas, let me know. And finally, I'm also going to link my Facebook page. Again, it's actually always in there in the video description, but it's all the way at the bottom usually. It's just so you can keep track of things, because I've noticed that lately the past few videos got noticeably lower views than usual, so I'm suspecting that there's some kind of YouTube shenanigans going on again with the subscription system and all of that. So if you like the Facebook page, you'll just get the link to every upload there. And that should be it, aside from one more thing. What was it? Oh yeah, merchandise. I never mentioned this. I should. So stuff like this, I have a Spreadshirt shop where you can get, you know, this thing here, for example, and End Him Rightly shirts. Yes, it's what the people want. It's what the people get. What can I say? And yeah, that will also be down there. So just there's this block of text that you can take a look at in the description. If you don't know where the description is, click on Show More. Right. Well, I probably shouldn't even say under the video, because YouTube might at any point change the layout and then it's suddenly there, or I don't even know. Whatever. Enough ramblies. Just a bit of a thing to keep you updated on what's going on. Thanks for watching and have a good one.